Hunger. I don't know about you, but maybe we should do some exercise instead. But let's ask some more questions to our experts. But first of all, Ben, you've actually released a book, haven't you, about nutrition? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Shape. And what it's basically about, I've been working with people to get in shape for 10 years. And the one thing you can see all the time is that you'll tell somebody to do something and they won't do it. Yeah. So what this book is about, it's about how to change your thinking patterns so that you can stick to your diet, nutrition plan, you can stick to your exercise routine.
And a little hint about maybe what's inside, like one tip that you can give us about changing your thinking?
Yeah, there's lots of things. It's that long-term approach I talked about before. Things like if you start at the outset thinking about doing something long-term, that will change everything. Because if you know you can't do this exercise routine for more than 3 weeks, then you're not going to set yourself up for failure. So that's an easy start. And another one is to look at who you associate with, because while I was writing this book, I was looking at how do the people who are in great shape, how do they think compared to normal people who struggle, normal people who fail with their results. And there are different patterns. There are 10 main patterns of thinking that will guarantee you results if you start thinking that way. So other example would be like friends who you associate with. Well, we can't, get rid of all our friends. If we can just find one person who's into healthy, living and so forth, that helps. This is why trainers, as we got here today, get great results.
Not the ones that say, come, let's go out for a curry tonight and stuff.
Not that you need to get rid of those people, but you need to find some other people. And this is why trainers get good results, because for some people, it's the only person in their life that they'll see who doesn't think and behave the same sort of way. So, and the higher level you go, when you look at professional bodybuilders, fitness athletes, they all they train in packs, so that they can all live off each other's vibe. And there are lots of these different principles: how to handle food with emotions. Have you got other outlets? When you start putting these things in place, then you're away from that willpower method, which doesn't work. And we're talking about getting in shape for the summer. We were talking earlier with trainers here. If you just go for that summer holiday, what happens 2 weeks afterwards? For most people, they've already started heading back to where they are. And as a trainer, as a nutritionist, it just kills you to work with somebody, get good results, and then 2 years down the line, you bump into them in the street, and you're like, that wasn't the person I knew 2 years ago, And the only way to keep those results is, to get your mindset right. And this book, is a
and that's available on Amazon.
Amazon, good bookshops and so forth. You can get it there, and it's a good first step if you're tired of that cycle of trying and failing, which most people are sadly aware of.
One of the
interviewing people for this book is that I didn't just meet people like actresses and models and people who make money from their body. I've met single mothers or mothers with 3 kids, pensioners. Every walk of life there'll be somebody who's achieved their results. And the good thing is, with people who are watching who may feel it's a lost cause, there is a way they can achieve their results, but it's not just doing what you've always done and always failed. If you can understand, anybody can change their mindset to what should get results, but you just have to think a little bit outside of the box. And this is how I work with people now, is getting them outside of the box. But for anybody watching at home who's a bit down and worried about it, there is a way out. There will be somebody just like you in that same situation who's turned it all around. I think the good thing is, the goals are quite good, because if I'm on holiday 4 weeks, I'm really psyched. And if during that time I start changing my behaviours instead of just head in and sand approach, then it can be worthwhile, because you start off 4 weeks, but if you've changed it, say you found a way to enjoy exercise, then it's worthwhile, because you can stick to it post-holiday.
That's the key, as long as you've not said, I need to lose
The funny thing I find with exercise is people think they're signing a contract for life. But you look at athletes, how they train, they don't train the same all the time. They might have April where they're training twice a day, and then September they train once every 2 days. But normal people don't do that. I'm signing up for the gym 5 days a week. That goes wrong. I'm back at home watching telly 5 days a week. And if you can tune into how you feel, it will change. So sometimes I like training in the morning, then next month it's in the evening. And those little things will stop you going. But if you give yourself permission to change, then you can, so you might do Zumba for a month, and then you might train outside on your own, then you might go to the gym because it's cold.
And variety is more interesting anyway, isn't it?
Here from Sibon, and she says, apart from taking iron and multivitamin supplements, getting enough rest and eating foods which contain iron, what more can be done to beat the feeling of tiredness and fatigue? We should cover quite a few things already. Is there anything else that you could do to beat tiredness and fatigue?
Definitely, because iron isn't the only thing that's related to tiredness and fatigue. So she could be eating sensitive food. So what sensitive food is, basically any food can be sensitive to your body. And when your body is sensitive to it, you eat it, it has a reaction towards it. And what we have this day and age is some of our healthiest foods are now sensitive to our body. because we're designed for variety. So basically, if I would make you eat 10 bananas a day for the next 2 months, I can almost guarantee in 2 months' time your body's going to be annoyed by bananas, because it's like, why the hell are you eating 10 bananas a day? And this is what we got here with today's diet. So most people eat wheat. They have like cereal for breakfast, which is wheat. They have sandwich for lunch, which is wheat. They have pasta for tea, which is wheat. It looks different, but for your body, it's the same food. So she could easily be eating healthy foods that are actually engaging the immune system and therefore draining her energy. Likewise, she could not be eating enough of the right food. So, we're told that low fat is healthy, but that's just one school of thought. We're not told about the other school of thought that says that the body needs fat. We're the only generation in the history of humans to cut out fat from our diet. So it could be that she's following the healthy low fat when the body's saying, give me some fat, and then it becomes energized. So I think it's a bit wrong for her to think that it's just iron linked to energy levels. And there are plenty more she can try, even though, and most people I work with have tried, the conventional methods, and that's why you have to get a little bit outside the box.
Guys, guess what? We've run out of time, unfortunately. It's gone so quickly, but thank you so much for all your advice, and I'm sure it's benefited the viewers. It's benefited me, definitely, and I'm sure it's benefited everyone at home as well. So we have reached the end of the programme. On Monday,